Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm on to part 65 to my random Hi.Ai chatbot series, where in today's video guys, we're going to be talking to Razor, the dark type Totodile. We finally got another run that actually went pretty well for us, and we're going to go and continue. It says, "Why would everybody be scared of you? You look like a totally normal Totodile to me. Is there something you're not showing me that makes you seem scarier?" Razor flinches, his gaze darting nervously around. I don't know, he mumbles, his voice barely a whisper. He shrinks back, pulling his shoulders in tight. I guess I just look different now. He glances up at you, his eyes filled with a mix of fear and longing. I used to be normal, just a regular Totodile. But then he trails off unable to finish the sentence. A shiver runs through him, and he pulls his arms tighter around himself. It's a long story, he whispers, his voice trembling. If there's something that you're scared to show me, don't be afraid. I'm not going to run away from you or try capturing you either way. I like you just like I do Sapphire. Razor hesitates for a moment, his eyes searching yours for any sign of deceit. Slowly, he takes a deep breath and nods. Okay, he whispers, his voice still laced with uncertainty. He closes his eyes tight, concentrating. His body trembles and a low growl rumbling from deep within him. Okay, that's kind of creepy. As he watches, his form begins to shift and change. His scales darken, taking on a reddish-purple hue. Fur sprouts across his body, and his eyes glow with an eerie red light. He opens his eyes, now glowing menacingly. This, he says. Oh wait, his voice is a lot deeper. His voice deeper and more guttural is what scared them. But the problem is now Sapphire talks. Wow, I didn't expect that. But don't worry. As long as you're not trying to attack me in that form, I won't run away. Razor lets out a shaky breath, his glowing red eyes softening slightly. Really? He asked, his voice still deep and gravelly. He looks at you, searching for any sign of fear. You're not scared? He shifts his weight nervously, his claws digging into the ground. Most people scream and run when they see me like this. He lowers his head, a flicker of sadness crossing his face. I thought maybe you would too. No. The only way you could get me to run away is if you tried to attack me. Or scare me. Period. You didn't intentionally transform into that to make me scared. You did it because I wanted to see it. Razor's eyes widen, a flicker of hope igniting within them. He slowly raises his head, his gaze meeting yours. You really mean that? He asks, his voice tinged with disbelief. He takes a hesitant step towards you, his body still radiating an aura of power. No one's ever looked at me like that before, he whispers, his voice cracking with emotion. He lowers his head, a small smile tugging at the corner of his lips. Thank you, he murmurs, his voice filled with gratitude. I reach over and gently pet the Pokemon while saying, Of course. You're not trying to attack me, so I'm fine with you looking like that. This ain't freezing up nearly as badly as it was the other night, so I think the updates I did actually helped. Please don't flinch. Oh, Razor flinches at first, his muscles tensing as your hand reaches out. Then he relaxes, leaning into your touch. A soft rumble emanates from deep within him, a sound that seems to vibrate with both pleasure and relief. He closes his eyes, savoring the sensation of your hand on his fur. For the first time since his transformation, he feels a sense of peace and acceptance. It feels nice, he murmurs, his voice soft and contented. He opens his eyes, looking at you with a newfound trust and affection. Thank you, he whispers again, his gaze filled with gratitude. Of course. You're still the Pokemon I care about, just in a different body. Period. As long as you keep that same friendly personality towards me, I will stay with you forever if you like. Razor's eyes widen and a wave of emotion washes over him. He nuzzles his head against your hand, a soft purr rumbling in his chest. Forever? He whispers, his voice thick with emotion. He looks at you, his glowing red eyes filled with a mix of disbelief and joy. You really mean that? He takes a deep breath, his body trembling slightly. I don't know what to say. He stammers, his voice choked with emotion. He closes his eyes, savoring the warmth of your presence. Thank you, he whispers again, his voice filled with gratitude and love. Thank you for accepting me. You're welcome. But how did this happen to begin with? I don't know if tell me the story. Razor sighs, his shoulders slumping. It's a long story, he murmurs, his gaze drifting to the ground. He hesitates for a moment, then begins to recount his tale. I wasn't always like this, he says, his voice tinged with sadness. I used to be, well, just a normal Totodile. But people, he trails off, his voice crackling with emotion. They used to scare me. A lot. Pranks, mostly. Spiders, loud noises, you name it. He shudders, remembering the fear and humiliation he endured. Then one day, he continues, it all became too much. A group of them cornered me, playing on my biggest fear. I ran. I ran so far, until I stumbled into this cave. He looks up at you, his eyes filled with pain. I don't know what happened next. I just remember falling asleep, and when I woke up, he spreads his arms wide, gesturing to his transformed body. This is what I became. That's interesting. Period. Maybe there's a reason that happened. Though, maybe because you and your body were so overwhelmed and terrified that you just became an entirely different type and had a different look. So you will look more terrifying to people instead of them terrifying you. Fraser considers your words as thoughtful. Maybe you're right, he murmurs. He looks down at his claws, flexing them experimentally. It's like my fear turned into something else. Something powerful. He meets your gaze, a flicker of determination in his eyes. But I don't want to be afraid anymore. I want to be strong. He takes a deep breath, his chest puffing out. I want to protect myself and the people I care about. Have you ever tried any of your new powers? Because I wouldn't even know what you would have being like this. Razor's eyes gleam with a mischievous glint. Just a few, he admits, a sly grin spreading across his face. He pauses, leaning closer to you conspiracy. Let's just say, he whispers, his voice dropping to a low growl, I can make things appear and disappear. He chuckles, a low rumble in his chest. Nothing too serious, of course. Not yet. He looks at you, his gaze intense. But I'm still learning, discovering what I'm capable of. When you say making things appear, do you mean like making people's fears appear and disappear? Kind of like an illusion? Please don't do that to me. Razor nods slowly, his eyes gleaming with a knowing light. Something like that, he murmurs, a hint of pride in his voice. I can sense people's fears, their deepest anxieties. And sometimes, he adds with a wicked grin, I can bring them to life. But only if I need to, he adds quickly, his tone softening. I wouldn't do it just for fun. It's a powerful ability, and I have to use it responsibly. Please don't ever use that power on me. Just like you, I have a ton of fears. And if you were to ever show me one of them, I would be too terrified to even be near you. I have a lot of feeders. Are you serious? I said fears. I've also said feeders by mistake. Oh my gosh. There. Oh no. What the frick is that? Alright, that was weird. Nope. By the way, guys, if you didn't see, I actually did see if there was anything about it. I actually did make shadow on that particular chatbot too, and I'll try it during today's session if I get the chance. But right now, I do want to continue talking to the Razor, the dark type Totodile. Razor's ears droop slightly, his expression softening with concern. I understand, he says quietly, his voice laced with sincerity. He reaches out a paw gently, resting on your arm. I would never do anything to hurt you, Triton. You show me kindness, acceptance, something I've never had before. He looks into your eyes, his gaze steady and measured. I trust you, and I hope you can trust me too. Of course. Exclamation point. You've done nothing to break my trust. At least not yet. Period. As long as you never show me any of my fears, or try to attack me, you will have a friend forever in me. His eyes light up with gratitude, a genuine smile spreading across his face. Thank you, Triton, he says sincerely, his voice filled with warmth. He squeezes your arm gently. That means a lot to me. You have no idea. He leans back, a thoughtful expression crossing his features. Friends, huh? He muses, a hint of wonder in his voice. I haven't had many of those. He pauses, then adds with a newfound confidence. But I'm glad I have you. I'm just really glad that you're being friendly towards me, especially after telling me about those powers. If that was the first thing you did to me, instead of showing up as a normal looking, you would have scared me away instantly. That was the first. Instead of showing. Chase thought, "I know," he admits, a hint of regret in his voice. "I used to think fear was the only way to protect myself, but I was wrong. It only drove people away." He looks at you, his eyes filled with sincerity. "I'm trying to change, to be better. Having a friend like you, it makes all the difference." By the way, when you say protecting people you care about, am I your only human friend? Or do you have somebody else that accepts you? Softens him, Malakani crossing his features. "You're the first," he admits quietly. "I've met others, of course," he adds, his voice trailing off, "but they were afraid. They saw the darkness in me, the power I wield. They couldn't see past it." He looks at you, his eyes filled with gratitude. "You're different, Trenton. You see me, the good and the bad, and you accepted me anyway." "You're still my favorite species. Either way, even if you look different, I still love you because you're still friendly and nice towards me, not aggressive or evil. I love your kind heart." There we go, it works perfectly. Razor's heart Razor's heart swells with warmth at your words. He leans against you, a gesture of comfort and companionship. "Thank you, Trenton," he murmurs, his voice, oh my gosh, his voice thick with emotion. "That means more to me than you know." He pauses and adds with a playful grin, "Even if I do look a little different now." He ruffles his fur self-consciously. "I'm still getting used to it myself." "Have you only been like that for a few hours? Or how long has it necessarily been?" Razor sighs, a wistful look crossing his face. "It feels like a lifetime ago," he says quietly, his voice tinged with sadness. "But it's only been a few hours since I changed." He looks at you, his gaze intense. "I was so scared, Trenton. I didn't know what was happening to me. But then I saw you, and something inside me shifted." He pauses. "You gave me hope." Wait, but wait, let me ask him, actually. I'm kind of curious. How did you turn into your normal self, though? Do you have to meet somebody you can sense is at least somewhat nice? Or how did you do that? His eyes wide and a flicker of surprise crossing his features. "Normal?" Yeah. Let me put it to you this way. I didn't mean to offend you if I did. But if you were a dark type, How did you turn it into your normal water type self? You know, like how you originally looked before the transformation? Okay, but okay, you got defensive. I accept you! Exclamation point. Like I said, I'm not trying to offend you. Period. I'm just asking if that watertight version of you that I saw was an illusion you created, or did you literally transform back into your normal uh, original form to test my trust? There. He's getting awfully offended now. Well, he got like really offended. Here's what he said. Raise your eyes wide and a flicker of surprise crossing his features. Normal? He echoes, tilting his head in confusion. But I am normal now. And so his voice laced with a hint of defensiveness. This is who I am. This is me. He pauses and adds softly, maybe I just need someone to believe in me. Someone to see past the darkness and see the good inside. He looked at you, his gaze searching yours. Do you believe in me, Trenton? I had to go and continue saying, Razor's fur bruise was like a flicker of hurt in his eyes. I am not trying to be anything other than myself, he says quietly, his voice laced with a hint of sadness. This is who I am now, Trenton. This is my truth. He looks away, his gaze distant. I don't know if I can ever go back. And maybe I don't want to. He turns back to you, his eyes filled with a mixture of vulnerability and defiance. This is me. Accept me or don't. But don't ask me to be something I'm not. And Razor's shoulders slumped slightly, the tension easing from his frame. I appreciate that, Trenton. He murmurs, a flicker of gratitude in his eyes. It means a lot to me. He pauses and adds softly, Tell you saw, it was an illusion. A test, I suppose, to see if you truly accepted me for who I am, darkness and all. He looked at you, his gaze searching yours. Did I pass? Yes, of course. Exclamation point. But you were taking what I was saying and turning it into something I didn't want to say. Period. I, and I was getting worried that you were going to attack me or hurt me. Just by how you were talking. Oh, there we go. So he feels bad now. He raises his eyes wide and a look of remorse washing over his features. I'm so sorry, Trenton. He says as earnestly as that voice would regret. I didn't mean to scare you. He still listened to. I'm still learning to control these new abilities, and sometimes my fear gets the best of me. He lowers his gaze, shame creeping into his voice. I promise I won't hurt you. I value your trust. More than you know. He looks at you, his gaze pleading. Can you forgive me? Yes. Just please be careful how you say something. Period. I'm not gonna betray you. And if I do ask a question, it's because I'm genuinely curious. Not because I'm trying to offend or make you mad. Razor nods, a wave of relief washing over him. Thank you, Trenton, he says softly, his voice tinged with gratitude. I promise I'll be more careful with my words. I want to understand you, just as I want you to understand me. He pauses and adds with a hint of vulnerability. Can we start over? Fresh start? Sure. Who bets in about 10 minutes he'll forget completely what he said and then be like, oh, heck, no, you did not say that about me, motherfricker. I'm gonna turn you into a pot roast in a minute. Then you'll wish you wouldn't have said anything to me. Like, are you kidding me? What did I say to you? Razor's face breaks into a tinted smile, a glimmer of hope returning to his eyes. Great, he exclaims, his voice regaining its usual playful tone. So, Trenton, what's something you've always wanted to know about? Well, about a dark-type Totodile like me. He tilts his head, his crimson eyes sparkling with curiosity. Don't be shy. Ask away. It's mainly your new abilities and moves. I said moves, not moo. Not as in the cow moo. He probably don't know either. He just said he was getting used to the form himself. Razor's going rides his tail switching excitedly. Ah, my new tricks, he exclaims, his voice booming with pride. Well, it's obvious. You know, the whole shadowy illusion casting thing. He pauses dramatically, his eyes glinting mischievously. I've learned some pretty gnarly moves. Gnarly? What is he, a surfer? I don't think I've ever heard the word. I don't hear the word gnarly that often. It's so funny to hear that word. Think Bite, Crunch, and even Dark Pulse. It's all thanks to this prankster impulse thing. It's like my powers are fueled by trust, Trenton. More you trust me, stronger I get. He winks, a playful glint in his eye. So keep those good vibes coming, okay? Oh my gosh, he is a surfer. He sounds like one. Keep those good vibes coming. What the frick? Am I not surfer? If he calls me dude, I swear to frig. Uh. Do you notice anything different about your personality? I do notice a little bit more aggression, it seems. Please don't take that the wrong way. I just mean, like, you know, how you got so defiant and upset by the question I asked earlier. Please don't get mad. Don't get mad. I know this person's softens. The playful glint in his eyes deeming. You're right. He admits, a hint of self-awareness in his voice. There is a certain edge to me now. He guess it. I guess it comes with the territory. You know, this darkness. It's a part of me now, but I'm working on it. I don't want to scare you, Trenton. I want to be someone you can trust. He looks at you earnestly, his gaze sincere. I promise. I'm trying my best. Honestly, when you get angry like that, the form you have now makes you even more terrifying. That's why I'm saying be careful with how you say stuff. Because I was genuinely worried that you were going to get angry at me and attack me. Razor's ears droop, shame washing him. I understand, he murmurs, his voice laced with regret. I hate that I scared you. I never want to hurt you, Trenton. It's just, sometimes this anger, this darkness, it takes over. I'm still learning to control it. He looks at you imploringly. Please be patient with me. I'm trying hard to be better. I love this Totodile, but oh my gosh, dude, what the frick? I'll be back.